So, turn my air compressor off here and all that to come on. So I'll show you guys what's in the shop, kind of what we're building. We're building all kinds of wild stuff. We got a bunch of stuff final assembly, play back to the wood shop, we'll go to the paint shop, and we'll just kind of see what's what, all right? So get you started in here in the wood shop and talk about some of the projects I got going on, talk about state of the industry, what I think is going on with the furniture industry today, which is freaking awesome. I mean, it's been a great year for sure. But anyway, let's start in the shop and we'll just kind of get after it real quick, and I'll just kind of throw in my commentary like I normally do. So if you guys are in the chat, hit the like button, add the discussion. My name's Eric Wilk, and I own the Resplendent Crow here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're a boutique fine furniture company. We're known for our high gloss lacquer coating. We also do a lot of stain grade furniture as well, and it's a great business, great way to make money, and a great family business, a great way to make a living if you're good at it. I talk a lot about bread and butter furniture. Most people think you can make money as a custom furniture maker, which you can, but it's much easier if you got a bread and butter product and you can do custom work. So anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit. So let's get after it. Flip my camera around here. Okay, so we'll start off with, so what you're looking at here is a 10-foot credenza, right? I'm always telling you guys about bread and butter furniture. Okay, this is bread and butter, right? So what you guys have to understand about this particular piece of furniture is this is 120 inches, okay? I make this at 100 inches, I make it 80 inches, I make it 70, 60, and 40. And this particular piece of furniture, the doors are all made of cherry wood. Okay, you can see, flip it over here. It's got a nice beveled edge on it. We're doing an MDF core so that it's highly paintable, right? And so all these doors will run along here and fill up this cavity, and it will be a beautiful piece that people really like, okay? Now, I'm always telling you guys about bread and butter furniture. This piece of furniture, this 10-foot piece, these sell for, I want to say like 10 or 12 grand. They're very expensive, and they're not very difficult to make, but people love them, right? People pay big bucks for big furniture, right? Some of you guys have to understand. Let's see here, the 10-footer, I think, sells for like 10 or 12 grand. The 100-incher, I think that one sells for like 8 grand. The 80-incher, those are like 6 grand. You know, so you see where this is going. And again, we'll pump out 50 to 75 of these things a year, right? So that's the bread and butter stuff, right? That furniture right there is what allows me to mess around and play with furniture, right? So here, I'll flip this around again. Now, whoops, sorry guys, let me do this one more time. There we go. Okay, so what I have going on here is this is the upper for basically an 8-foot china cabinet. Okay, so this will be upper. It's gonna have 4 doors, 1, 2, 3, 4 doors, right? And it'll be all faux bamboo. It'll have a massive hood on top, right? And if you guys go on the resplendentcrow.com and just look up Pagoda China Cabinet, you'll see the one that I make now. Now, the one that I make right now that I sell is it's 40, I think it's like 48 inches wide. It's probably 85 inches tall. It's beautiful, and those sell for like 8 grand a pop. And they're actually kind of difficult to make, but we're getting better at making them. So this is the upper for that china cabinet, right? And again, you guys can go on the Resplendent Crow and see any of this stuff, but this one is what I'm starting with right here. But I'm also making the 8-foot version, right? And again, because I make so much bread and butter furniture, I can mess around with all this other stuff, right? The fun stuff, right? The thing that every woodworker wants to do is just make custom furniture, make all the one-off stuff, and the stuff that's very difficult to make a living at. That's why I can do this stuff. So, all right, more things. So we've got, I think we've made 7 of these last week. 7 of these vanities in all different sizes, okay? Now, this particular one is just a basic, this is our standard 36-inch version, right? It's gonna be 22 deep, 34 tall. Like I said, I think we made 7 of these things. These sell for like 4 grand a pop, and as they get bigger, they sell for even more, okay? Now, the way to make money in the furniture game is to have lots of parts cut, right? Use the same parts on a lot of different pieces of furniture, but also make that furniture unique. Make it feel very personal, make it feel very timeless, make it something that, oh God, what's the word I'm looking for? Make sure it's something that people really want. They really want to desire, okay? So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this piece of reeded trim, I get a double reed here, okay? This, I get this at basically 1,000 feet at a time. Right, so we use this on almost all of our faux bamboo furniture, whether I'm making a vanity or making dressers or making china cabinets. The trim that's on here will be the same trim that's going to go on the lower for my china cabinets, right? Same deal, okay? Now, other things, legs. We use a standard faux bamboo leg for a ton of our furniture, right? We buy these in like groups of 20, and that's how we're able to put these things together so fast, okay? Now, let's go into the sanding room real quick. And I'll show you guys the rest of these vanities. Again, building, so 7 of these, we can build 7 of these in a week. And again, we are a make it by hand company, right? We're in St. Louis, Missouri. We don't outsource shit, right? We make everything right here in St. Louis. We hand make it all. That's part of that's what I wanted as a business. I don't want to outsource my stuff. I don't want to make things in China, India, all these kind of things. I want to make my furniture right here. And that's what we do, okay? So 7 of these. All right, so here's the 52-inch version of the vanity I just showed you. It has 3 doors on it, right? Here's a 48-inch version, slightly larger, okay? Again, so do the math, right? If you got 7 of those, and that's just stuff that we make, you know, say at an average of $4 grand a pop, right? That's $28,000 in 1 week. That's really freaking good money. If you can do it. I don't do that every week, but people want vanities right now. It's the holiday season. If you're in the furniture game, people are looking to get their homes ready for entertaining, right? Thanksgiving's gone. Now we're on to Christmas, and people just want their stuff to look really nice, so they're finishing up all their projects, right? Other things. Here's another standard 36-inch one. This one is 20 and a half deep, right? So we charge 10% when you change a dimension from a standard size, right? So we probably got, whatever, $4,400 for that one. Now, that's how we make money in the furniture game, guys. We have to have basic pricing, and then we have upcharging for custom. Even if something, you know, just a little bit different, right? You can get that extra 10, 20%, and it's basically just gravy money. It's butter money, and it's wonderful, okay? So other things we got in here. We got a lot of things that are primed right now. So you got a really nice, this is a Kindle chest, right? Kindle does these reeded legs that are just beautiful. Kindle's an amazing company, but you can see that the guys are going to go in, they're going to 320 sand this stuff, they're going to 400 sand this to a beautiful buttery smooth finish, and then we'll lacquer it, right? We'll put high gloss nitrocellulose lacquer on it, and I'll show you guys that in the, when I go over to the paint side, I'll show you guys all the lacquered furniture and what we're doing and we're actually trying some different paints, which is kind of cool. There's an opportunity to save a lot of money with different paint companies, and I can go over that. If you guys put that stuff in the chat, I will answer any questions you guys have. And I see we got questions in the chat. I'll get those in just a second. Let me show a few more things here since I'm back here in the sanding room, and I'll jump on the comments, okay? All right, so other things, we got customer pieces coming in. We do a lot of customer stuff, right? So we'll pick it up, bring it in here, fix it up, sand it, paint it, send it back to their house. Beautiful buffets. We got nice dressers. So I'm actually, funny thing, I just designed a custom dresser just like this for a client, right? So we're going to make a custom version of this. I love making furniture like this. I love making all of these curved panels with nice reading and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. Making these cool bases. I love making flared legs. So we got that going on. We got a new guy's coming in. He's sanding. He's doing okay. One of the things, if you're going to get in the refinishing game, so notice the discoloration here, right? One of the things that we do with people is we always tell them just knock off the shine. That's all we want. We don't want to sand through the old finish. The old finish is the best surface for priming, right? So this finish is buttery smooth. This has been sanded up to 220 right now, and it just feels glossy smooth. It's beautiful. But you can see what they've done. They've filled in all the grain, right? They've used a grain filler on everything, and then they flat sanded it all. You can see where they're doing the Bondo work. They're going to Bondo this thing up, and again, they'll sand it, and this thing will be just completely smooth all over the place, and then it'll take lacquer really well, and that's what people pay for, right? That's the service that we provide that is so hard for other people to do. It just takes a lot of, the prep work is insane, and trust me, finding people that like to paint stuff is freaking ridiculously hard. But here's the doors. Check these out. So here's the doors, right? These are, believe it or not, these are plastic, right? So this is the company Stanley. They make these credenzas, and they're kind of iconic because of the big brass hardware that they have on them. They're really cool, and we actually sell quite a few of these. So anytime we get an opportunity to buy one of these, we will. But again, this is all plastic, right? It's not made by hand, and you can't really see it on the back side. They've got this like Luan material here, but again, this completely plastic. So kind of interesting, right? So that's what we got going on in the paint room real quick. So let's go back to, we'll go to the paint department real quick. We'll kind of look at some of the painted stuff and let's see your questions. So who we got here? We got, who is this? Let me stop here. I can't read when I'm moving. Okay, Chris Falix. Okay, let's see. Except the bamboo sides. Who do you sell those to? A store? Do you install them? Okay, so Chris, what we do is we have an online store at theresplendentpro.com, and what happens is it's open to anybody. Anybody can buy our furniture, right? We offer a trade side just for designers, people that are in the trades, as we say, and they're able to buy things. They get a little bit of a discount, which they can, pass on to their customer, right? Which is really good. People really like that stuff. But we don't install anything. I'm not insured to install things. Every now and again, if you're a super customer, I'll entertain the idea of helping you install things. But for the most part, we don't do that. Now, selling to stores is interesting. I get asked to sell to stores all the time. Like, everybody wants my furniture in their store. But the thing that I can't, where there's a huge disconnect, and I'll tell you guys what I'm doing to fix this, where there's a huge disconnect is between wholesale and retail, okay? So when a store wants my product, they want to be able to mark it up 2 times to 2.5 times, right? So if I sell, I just showed you guys this vanity, right? We'll say that vanity is $4,000. They want to be able to sell that thing for basically $8,000, right? No one's going to buy that thing for $8,000 if they can buy it right off my website for $4,000, right? So it's very difficult to get things into the retail space. Now, what we've done is what we're doing now is we're doing 2 things. We're going to have exclusive furniture that is just for the trades, right? So we're going to be making faux bamboo furniture. We're going to be making Emily line furniture. We're going to be making all kinds of different furniture that is specifically for the trade. So nobody else will be able to buy it. So they'll be able to sell it at a high markup and not be undercut by me, right? The other thing is that in order to sell wholesale, guys, what you have to understand is that most people, not everybody, most people though, have to make their furniture overseas, right? This is why the #1 place in the world making furniture today is Vietnam, right? It's Vietnam, and it's also China, it's also Indonesia, right? The reason our furniture industry here in America sucks is because every fucking company, every American company that was selling furniture started making it overseas, yet they still call themselves an American company, which, if you ask me, is complete horseshit. Companies like Restoration Hardware, Williams-Sonoma, Crate and Barrel, these people, they're all fucking liars, and it drives me crazy as someone who actually makes this furniture here in America. Now, what they'll do is a lot of these companies will say, well, we are an American company, we're American made, and what they're doing is they're making their couches, right? They're making their upholstered goods here in America. And just Google it. You guys will see this stuff. All the case goods, the vanities, the dressers, the bookcases, credenzas, all that shit made overseas, right? And so they can then sell it to a wholesaler because they're paying slave wages over in these other countries, right? And fortunately, whether you like Trump or not, this isn't a political thing, but Trump is making it more expensive for these cocksuckers to do that, right? Which means that people like you and I that actually want to own furniture companies can have a little bit more of the pie, right? Where it's not as easy to just take a furniture design, send it over to China, and have those guys make it for $250 an hour, okay? So that's kind of what's going on there. So yeah, we don't install, we don't do wholesale, but we're working on it. And because of the tariffs, we're able to make a lot more things, have a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? We're able to have a lot more swings at making sales, right? So that's how I'll put that. Okay, another thing we got going on here. So we got double vanity here. And you guys, everyone always says, well, why is it walnut, right? What's with the different colors? What's going on there? It's kind of goofy. We paint furniture, okay? So walnut paints really well. And this veneer is basically crap reject veneer that I reject, right? So, I mean, look at this. You can't use this kind of stuff. It's not usable. So a lot of times I'll get in veneer and it's junk and I'll reject it. And the manufacturer won't even want the veneer back. They'll just give it to me, send me a new sheet, right? And so I have lots of reject veneer, which I'll put on cabinets, whatever I'm building, and we paint it, right? Because we paint so much furniture, okay? So notice the outside, we've got maple, we've got poplar, we've got cherry wood. I've even got a little bit of walnut in here. And that's one of the great things about painting is that you can use all different kinds of woods so long as it's closed grained, right? So we got cherry drawer fronts along here, right? It's just, this is one of the things that we get to do when we paint furniture, which I really like. I just put out a video on how to make curved doors, right? So these curved doors right here, if you guys want to see how I build these things, I just put out a video on it, and it's not the greatest video because I'm not the best video maker, but pretty damn good at making furniture. So again, I like to show everyone what we do. I'm a big fan of putting my work out there and actually showing people how to do it. I think if you want to make it today in the furniture industry, if you want to grow, as the gap between the haves and the have-nots gets wider, guys, you're going to need to show people what it is you do because the artisan economy is coming. I've talked about this many times. People are going to want to buy furniture from people that they know, right? People are going to want to buy furniture from people that they like, right? So if you're a company like Restoration Hardware and you're selling your fucking country out so that you can build really nice stores and buy private jets and do all this kind of stuff. Yet all your slave labor is over in Vietnam making your product. People are going to find this stuff out. They're going to get really pissed about paying $10,000 for a credenza when they could buy it from Eric at the Resplendent Crow, who will actually hand make it here in St. Louis, Missouri, do videos about it, do Instagram about it, do YouTube about it, and talk about it, and they know who I am. It's coming down the road, guys. It's only going to get better if you're an artisan maker, you know? So I want people to understand that's really important, okay? So other cool things that we're working on, right? We do a lot of cool projects here. So this, you're not going to see this very often. This is a solid sheet of brass, right? Completely solid sheet of brass. And I've got to cut all this up into 1-inch strips because I built a 15-foot table that needs brass to go all the way around it, okay? So that's kind of cool. We'll have that coming up. And I've got a 22-foot table coming up that I'm going to have to do something similar to. So, yeah, this stuff's very, very stout, very expensive. But anyway, that's kind of what we do. So other things that we build, you guys notice this? This is a tall boy, right? So this is kind of on the back burner right now. We're just trying to finish it. I got to see if I can move this brass back just a little bit. So anyway, this is 12 drawers, right? 12 drawers. This is part of our Emily line. So these Emily details are part of the aesthetic of the cabinet. It comes from actually a Drexel cabinet. So Drexel furniture is real popular. But we do really nice detailed legs. We have nice onlays, and all of our drawer boxes are always cherrywood. I'm always showing you guys how I make things, right? So we do miter lock joints for everything. I don't want to see dovetails. Dovetails are played out and not really cool anymore. We use undermount slides for everything. We want a nice clean look all the way along our drawer box, and that's what people like today. Okay, moving into paint. We'll go into paint here. Actually, I guess I got to go to the other wood shop here real quick. We'll go to the other wood shop. So